I would say that I now know how much I don't know about mental health. So it's a vast topic. And then I decided that I'll curtail it to healthy aging. So I've made it like mental health, giving priority to mental health for healthy aging. I think this will suit the audiences here, right? And I always want my presentation to be interactive. Does the sound system work now? But it's not. Okay. Sorry, Manu actually told me to come 10 minutes earlier. I'm really sorry. आदतले मजबुर भइयो कि I don't know, हाम्रो यहाँ नेपाली बाहेक अरु को हुन्छ नेपाल सबै everybody understand Nepali here because I'll be using Nepali, some of Hindi and English. I cannot speak Spanish. That's okay. Tinota language is okay, right? So Nepali time भन्ने त यहाँहरुलाई मशहुर छ थाहा छँदैछ हैन. So in my 12 years period of presenting in different forum, I've realized that if the presentation is not flashy, can we put off this light, because I want this room to look like QFX. So if it is not flashy, and then nobody is going to listen to you. And if it is not humorous, okay, again, you cannot make them attentive, especially after post-lunch session. And usually, I don't know, it's by chance or what, wherever I go, I'm given post-lunch session. I don't know why, it's a coincidence, or they think I can take care of the audiences.
You can blame Manu Thapa.
So, humorous obviously means that, do we have any minors here? Okay, they should be under their parental guidance, if they are there. No, this is not a class. I'm not going to ask you to do this. This is anyway very difficult thing to do, sir, right? Talking about, okay, this is not my aim, okay? The reason I told you to put off the light is because, you know, the speaker doesn't like to see a lot of people sleeping, you know. त्यो भएर मेरो लागि पनि हो त्यो. त्यो भएर सुते पनि नदेखिए. I'm sure that you groupलाई मैले छेकिरहेको छु. It's okay. Yeah. I'm sure you'll learn at least 5 things like that lady. अनि यहाँबाट निस्किदा या भनेर 5वटा कुरा त सिकियो नि भनेर निस्किन पाउनु हुनेछ पक्कै पनि. We all know that we communicate to the world through 5 sensory organs. थाहा छ यहाँहरुलाई हामीले हाम्रो communication to the external world कसरी हुन्छ? We have 5 organs through which we communicate with the external world. आँखा, कान, सुन्छौं, फिल गर्छौं, टेस्ट गर्छौं हैन. एउटा अन्ध मान्छेलाई जिरोमा स्याउ राख्दियो भने उले त्यो टेस्टले थाहा पाउँछ हैन, गन्धले पनि थाहा पाउँछ, right? So that's how we communicate. So in my presentation I try to include as many as of this so that the learning becomes more complete. And you'll see a lot of animations talking about English language. British. Okay. We in the third world, we think that knowing English is intelligence. And it's not, actually. It's not. So, excuse me if I use my mother language. It's very funny. I think the sound system is not working, sir. No, I mean the yeah. The old man is trying to say beginning. Okay, this is what happens if we do not respect our mother tongue. And in Nepali also, I find that our communication is not that perfect. We use a lot of our own word. I don't know. I think every individual Nepali has its own vocabulary. No, seriously. When I take history, because as a doctor, I have to communicate with the patient, and in our profession, we say, you keep talking, I'm diagnosing you. The patient keeps talking and we make the diagnosis. So in that process, I think Nepali language has also a lot of flaw. You भन्ने छ नि यो यति हामीले युज गर्छौं कि भन्न खोजेको के अन्तमा यस्तै हुन्छ साच्चै कोही भएको चाहिँ के So, and another thing is, having said about the 5 things through which we communicate, 5 organs, sometimes what we see may not be true, We may see something else when it is altogether different. Maybe you did that just now. So my request to you is, let's make it interactive. Or if you don't want to interrupt me, maybe you can note and we can have a discussion session at the end. Don't take home wrong message from this class. Or class interaction. Your fairy eyes. Okay, being a psychiatrist, I think I would like to talk about some of the myth and misconception about psychiatry that we carry in the world. I think it's the same in British as well, sir. They think that we psychiatrists are just bunch of people with bald hair, with cigar in the hand, who would just, talk to the patient and prescribe peanuts. Peanuts means medicine. We are far more than that. And sometimes, one of my British colleague from Newcastle, he told me that when he took up psychiatry, he is actually originally from South India, now a British citizen, of course. His parents were very much, against it, and they were worried. Why did you choose that subject? Are you crazy? That sort of perception is still there, hanging around. Even in Nepal, when someone chooses psychiatry as their specialty, they will say that, oh, didn't you get other subject to study? But I would say that psychiatry as a subject is most important subject in human health. And I can debate on this with anybody in the world. And I can prove that. I'll not do that here. So sometimes we have to say that we are a doctor. It's not that in psychiatry there hasn't been giants, like I said, didn't you get other subject? Were you so poor in your studies that you are choosing psychiatry? That's the perception of the society, even our fraternity. So it's not that we didn't have great giants in the field. Sir, do you mind if I speak in Nepali? Do you understand? ओके थ्याङ्क यू के भनिन्छ भने हाम्रोमा चाहिँ धेरै अनुसन्धानहरू नभएको पनि होइन धेरै अनुसन्धानहरू भएको छ धेरै विज्ञहरू इनफ्याक्ट इफ वी गो टु अर्ली 90s psychiatry was a subject and till date also if we see in the research articles in the journals you will see that most of the research is going on in mental health. So the only problem with psychiatry is we do have a lot of research, but the barrier to the mind is so strong. The barrier to the mind is so strong, and because of ethical reason also, we cannot conduct a lot of researches to understand mental health. And that is the reason I would not say we are lagging behind, but a lot of things could not be explored. Another drawback that psychiatry has is, or sabai field ma veterinary, there is veterinary counterpart. They can chop, the heart of the mouse and apply it to the human. We cannot do that because animals do not have the brain that we are talking. They do not have the brain that we are talking about that controls the emotion, behavior, judgment, higher mental function. So that's why we are different from the animals, and that is one barrier that we have. We don't have veterinary counterpart. That does not make psychiatry any inferior in terms of being scientific or not. Another debate that I always bring out is psychiatry is scientific or more scientific than any other specialty in medical science. That is something a lot of us, we do not know. Even the medical fraternity, I don't know, these guys, they knew that or not. And medical science per se, sir, medical science ke background ko koi hununcha? Anybody who is from medical science background or science background? No? Medical koi hununna ya? Okay, medical science is incomplete science. Okay, there is no one shoe fit all kind of remedy. Okay, and one size fits all. There is no such thing as like that in medical science. And talking about the etiology of psychiatric disorders, the etiology that medical science has so far known is enough to treat, and our patients benefit a lot from them. And again, as I said, medical science is not a perfect science. So is psychiatry. Okay, what we cannot understand today, or what we think is the solution today, may become a myth tomorrow. Okay, may become something that is not agreeable tomorrow. It happens in all the branches of medical science. Okay, like, so just by saying that a lot of things in mental health has not been explored because of whatever difficulties, we should not deprive our patient from getting the treatment from the armamentarium, whatever we have in the basket. Okay, yeah, like malaria. Do you know how the word malaria was coined? You know how malaria to sabele sunnu bhayo cha ni. Malaria भन्ने त्यो रोगको नाम चाहिँ कसरी राखियो थाहा छ? Okay, at those time, suddenly people of the civilization observed that there is sudden fever, among the population there, and it was different fever type than usual they had known, and they were exploring like what happened, what is happening, and at that time they came to the conclusion that maybe it's because of mal bhaneko, it's bad, area is air. Maybe this is because of the bad air. So they named it malaria. Okay, malaria means bigreko hawa. Bigreko hawa. Okay, with that conclusion also, what they started doing is they started cleaning the house, they started cleaning the ditches, okay, where the mosquitoes will be grown. So they clean the neighborhood, they clean the locality. Because of that, obviously the population of mosquito decreased and the population suffering from malaria also decreased. So wasn't that a wonderful solution at that time? Sir, it was wonderful solution. But now malaria is known to the core with the advance of medical science. See, why I'm bringing out this example is, अहिलेको mental health को treatment जे पनि हामीसँग छ, त्यो 10 वर्षपछि चाहिँ त्यो applicable नहुनेवाला पनि हुन सक्ला, ओके? तर अहिले जे छ त्यसबाट चाहिँ हाम्रो populationहरुलाई वञ्चित गराउनु भएन, त्यसले पनि धेरै help हुन्छ. That is the message I wanted to convey. Another thing I want to raise here is मानसिक स्वास्थ्यमा चाहिँ के छ भने there is stress stigma, sir. Whenever a person says that I feel very much afraid, I have fear attacks, I don't know why I become afraid, I don't know why I cannot be happy, I don't know why that person is behaving abnormally. So usually they will say that maybe because of stress. अनि के भनिदिन्छ, त धेरै सोचेर त्यस्तो भएको होला, त धेरै चिन्ता त्यही भएर त्यस्तो भएको भनिन्छ कि भनिन्न. हाम्रो मेडिकल साइन्समा हाम्रो अदर मेडिकल डक्टर्स अल्सो टेल द पेशेन्ट, जसले चाहिँ म डाक्टर साहब मलाई एकदम डर लाग्छ, मेरो मुटु ढुकढुक हुन्छ, मुख सुक्छ, म खुसी हुन सक्दिनँ, मेरो निन्द्रा पनि राम्रो लाग्दैन, मलाई दिमागमा मेरो कुरा खेलेको खेलै हुन्छ, एउटै कुराले मलाई सताइरहेको हुन्छ. So when they come with that complaint, usually stress भनेर चाहिँ त्यो स्टिग्मा लाग्छ के. सो त्यही भएर मैले यो साइन्टिफिक कुरा हो, यो स्ट्रेसले जति मेन्टल हेल्थलाई असर गर्छ, ओके, त्यति नै फिजिकल हेल्थलाई पनि असर गर्छ के. For example, if someone is prone to develop diabetes and suddenly the stress level in that person increases, what will happen, sir? Yes, he's going to be prone to develop diabetes. If someone has family history of hypertension, for example, and if there is sudden stress in that person, के हुन्छ? हाइपरटेन्सन, प्रेसर हाई हुने, उसको परिवारमा थियो, उसलाई चाहिँ तनाव धेरै भयो भने उसलाई कुन रोग लाग्छ? He will get hypertension, right? So is true with mental disorders. Okay, अनि यसको एकदम the biggest example to prove my point is the recent earthquake. The massive earthquake that Nepal experienced, wasn't it stressful to whole population? I know it was stressful to whole population. I know when that happened, one of my colleagues came to me and he said, Nirmal, now your patient's number is going to increase. I told him, okay, he was a physician. I told him, then you open one candy company, candy sweets, and sell candy in a very cheap price to the community, or just distribute it free to the community, and you'll have a lot of patients in your clinic. It doesn't happen like that. I don't know what he got from that answer. It doesn't happen like that. Okay. So, to prove my point, after earthquake, me and other colleague of mine, we did not get any surge, any sudden rise in number of people suffering from mental disorder. No, it didn't happen. And whatever number we got were those who were vulnerable, or those who already had exacerbation. जसलाई पहिला थियो उनीहरुको बढ्यो, जसलाई सम्भावना थियो उनीहरुलाई देखियो. It was त्यो एकदम धेरै सबैलाई चाहिँ भएन नि त. Okay, त्यो चाहिँ यो मेरो पोइन्टलाई प्रुभ गर्नलाई is enough. So I always give that example. This is the scientific proof to my point that stress has no more and no less effect in mental health as it has in any physical disorder known to the planet Earth. कति त हामीलाई अझै थाहा छैन होला हैन. अब एउटा strong message I want this room to carry home is stress stigma लाई चाहिँ बिर्सिदिनुस्. अहिले मैले यहाँ कसलाई स्ट्रेस छैन भनेर सोधे भने कसैले हात उठाउने आँट गर्नुहुन्छ? स्ट्रेसै नभएको मान्छे. Anybody who doesn't have stress at all, zero stress, raise hand. सर उठाउनु भएको? ए मेरो यस्तै क्लासमा एकजना one gentleman raised his hand to this question. You know, I asked them, anybody who doesn't have stress, zero stress, please raise their hand. And one gentleman raised his hand, and I asked him, sir, why did you raise his hand? He said, just like that. Did you understand my question? No. Okay, let's have a small video now. As I said, psychiatry, मानसिक रोग चाहिँ हाम्रो मेडिकल साइन्सको सबै रोगहरू भन्दा इम्पोर्टेन्ट एस्पेक्ट हो. किनभने यदि कुनै व्यक्तिलाई कुनै किसिमको मानसिक रोग छ भने उसको त्यो फिजिकल रोग पनि बढ्छ. Okay, so the burden of mental health is huge. That's why in the medical science, sometimes I argue with my colleagues that maybe we should keep stress as one of the vital signs. This is a debate I have been raising since last 1 or 2 decades, but nobody listens to me. Maybe some English gentleman has to raise it sometime. Because if, God forbid, you 4 jana 5 janaलाई if they have headache, एउटै टाइपको हेडेक छ, will they feel same level of distress or pain? No. केले फरक पर्छ? Perception, सोच. अर्को केले फरक पर्छ? The level of stress in their life. Okay, आफ्नो जीवनमा त्यति बेला स्ट्रेसको लेभल के थियो त्यसले फरक पार्छ. Okay, so my proposition was, मेरो प्रस्ताव चाहिँ के हो भने स्ट्रेस मेजर गर्ने गरौँ. हामीले हरेक बिरामीमा हामीले जसरी पल्स मेजर गर्छौं, हार्ट रेट मेजर गर्छौं, बीपी मेजर गर्छौं, ओके अहिले त मेसिनहरूले अब ब्लड अक्सिजन लेभल मेजर गर्छ अनफर्चुनेटली स्ट्रेस मेजर गर्ने त केही छैन अहिले मेबी सम वान विल कम आउट विथ समथिङ कल स्ट्रेसोमिटर सम टाइम हैन थर्मोमिटर भने जस्तै एन्ड द्याट विल ब्रिङ लट अफ पोजिटिभ चेन्ज इन मेडिकल साइन्स म रहेन र त्यो आयो भने मैले गरेको भनेर सम्झिनु है Said it is there in everybody. Nobody, even the audience, could not deny about the stress. Stress is there in every walk of life. When I was coming, I started at 15 minutes earlier, no, 20 minutes earlier from my workplace. I was coming here. There were a lot of, traffic on the way. I was stressed because Manu had told me categorically to reach before 10 minutes. So I was stressed at that time, right? So stress sabailai huncha ke. Stress राम्रो पनि हो. Stress keeps you moving. तनावै भएन भने I don't think we'll progress in life. So stressले again my focus is stressले मात्रै कुनै पनि रोग लाग्ने होइन त्यो स्टिग्माबाट हामी हटौँ र परिवारमा कसैले मलाई डर लाग्छ मलाई मर्न मन लाग्छ मलाई बाँच्न मन लागिरहेको छैन मलाई मेरो दिमागमा धेरै नराम्रो कुराहरू खेल्छ भने तैँले धेरै तनाव लिस भन्ने यो ग्रुपले एटलिस्ट छोड्नु होला भन्ने मेरो एक्सपेक्टेसन get expert help or at least talk to that person. Sometimes just talking and solving their minor problems can also help them. यहाँ बसेर बोलौँ क्या? Okay. So यो solution होइन है फेरि. This is not the solution. Go to the expert, please. Ladies, don't try this at home. And even the animals, they have stress, Horror movie. So in a way, like Swami Vivekananda has said, हामीलाई कुनै दिन तनाव छैन भने चाहिँ कतै हामी गलत बाटोमा त हिँडिरहेको छैनौँ भनेर सोच्नु पर्ने हुन्छ. So okay, now coming to my presentation. Sorry, this was all trailer. Now coming to the real thing. So what I'll do is, to those who are feeling like sleeping, this is very good way of keeping yourself awake. We'll talk about brain and aging. So, as I said, giving priority to mental health for healthy aging is my topic. And how to differentiate between normal and abnormal, and what are the medical conditions which we should take care of for healthy aging, and what is the role of activity, and what are the roles of diet, supplement, and drugs. Okay. नेपालमा ड्रग्सलाई चाहिँ गोली भन्दो रहेछ, खै किन हो है. Okay, this is my question to you all. Muna. Okay, key answers, Isma. Sir, what is your answer? 30. Sir says 30. I'm 16, maybe. Okay. I'm 16. यो आफ्नो उमेरै थाहा नभएको भए आफू कति उमेरको हो भन्ने It's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Okay? Years, like an expert has said, one noble person has said, age is just a number. Unfortunately, till date, I don't know, I'm hearing that scientists are developing anti-aging vaccine sort of thing. I've heard of it, but I don't think we will be privileged to use that. So what applies to our life is this truth, which sometimes is bitter, but this is the whole truth. You know, when we are born, this is the cycle that we have to go through. Starts with one bottle and ends with another. So as I said, age is just a number. It's not the number of years that you have lived counts. It's the number of, what was that? I forgot. Like how you have lived is more important. So coming to the brain, what happens to the brain after aging? Like every cell in the body, which keeps on changing every day, every minute, every hours. Even the brain cells, they keep on changing. And what happens with aging is the cells, the death and revival, death and revival, death and revival. हाम्रो यहाँले कहिलेकाहीँ हामीले छालामा देख्छौँ नि हैन, कहिलेकाहीँ त्यो सिक्वेन्स मिलेन भने कत्ला आउँछ नि छालामा हैन, के भएको पुरानो छाला उठिएर नयाँ सेल आउँदाखेरि usually we do not notice it, right? Sometimes when that balance is lost, अनि हाम्रोमा कत्ला देखिन्छ नि पुरानो छाला निस्केको हैन. So that balance is maintained. In some it may be faster, in some it may be slower. So, but it's going with age, it's going to shrink, it's going to diminish in function, it is going to be less in replenishment. Okay. So similarly, it affects the function of the brain, which are learning, memory, planning, and other complex mental activities. If you ask me, after 40 years, I myself, I've started realizing that now I'm not able to do multiple tasks at a time. So that ability to do multiple tasks also decreases. These are normal process of brain development. Okay. So similarly, the vessels in the brain, त्यसको पनि त्यसरी नै चेन्जेसहरु आउँछ. त्यही भएर 70-80 इयर्समा हामीले हाम्रो ब्रेनको स्क्यान गर्यो भने हाम्रो ब्रेनको साइज श्रिङ्क भएको देखिन्छ कि हैन. त्यो भनेको नर्मल एजिङमा हुने कुरा हो है. अब जस्तै हाम्रो छालाहरू किन चाउरी पर्छ, यसले गर्दाखेरि हैन. त्यति नै रिप्लेसमेन्ट हुँदैन अनि त्यसपछि त्यो चाउरी पर्दै जान्छ. So when it happens to the brain, normally what happens is our attention, concentration, learning, memory would be difficult than when we are young. Okay, अब म यसको लागि मैले एउटा इक्जाम्पल युज गर्ने गरेछु श्रीमान म राजावादी होइन है फेरि यतिकै यो इक्जाम्पल युज गरेको श्रीमान गम्भीरको पालोको को हुनुहुन्छ स्कुलमा श्रीमान गम्भीर हामीले सिकेर हुर्केको ओके अब 100औं थुङ्गा भन्ने आयो नि अब मलाई भन्नु यहाँहरूले 100औं थुङ्गा फुलको हामी एउटै माला नेपाली कतिजनालाई आउँछ कण्ठस्थ 1 2 3 ओके अझै पनि श्रीमान गम्भीर म कन्फिडेन्टली गाउँछु भन्ने कतिजना हुन्छ I think the number who are confident in singing Sriman Gambhir, who were grown singing it, would be more. Because you learned Sriman Gambhir when you were young, and when your memory power was fresh. Okay, so not being able to learn the other thing because you have grown older does not mean that you are abnormal. Okay, 100औं थुङ्गा फुलको हामी मैले गाउन सकिनँ भनेर मैले दुःख मान्नु पर्ने कुरै छैन ओके
Can we tackle that problem? Revive your memory power?
No.
I've seen Japanese, they've been experimenting on 80 years plus people. The teachers are teaching them how to use abacus. So the abacus is
Shodoku. Shodoku.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So that it gives them very sharp.
Okay, I think that we'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Sudoku is different, yes.
Abacus count for them.
Puzzle. Okay, okay. Because Mark has raised that point, there has been research on why Japanese are intelligent, and they came to the conclusion that because they use a lot of gadgets, they play a lot of video games where their brain exercises. Okay, just like हाम्रो शरीर कस्तो हुन्छ भने any cell, any function, any organ in the body, if it is active, it is alive. If it is not active, its function diminishes. And same is true about brain. Brain को function पनि actively हामीले use गर्यो भने त्यो active भइरहन्छ, more resilient हुन्छ हैन नत्र भने त्यो पनि हराउँछ. So there is a dictum said, you use it or you lose it. Okay, you use your brain or you lose your brain. You use your limbs or you lose your limbs. You know? The person who goes to gym regularly will have a good physique. Once he stops, it becomes sloppy again. That's true for every function of the brain, every function of the body, in fact, every cell. So, when we say that, now who is normal? Is the one who takes 1 apple a day healthy? Like I said, one who keeps using computer, are they normal? The most normal one. One who relaxes, are they normal? So, and what is successful aging? Those who are active all the time, are they only normal? Or is this old man who has lived longer but needs an aid to walk normal? To say normal, I would say that staying away staying away from any disease or deformity should be normal. Okay. लामो धेरै वर्षसम्म